Hey guys, UG here, and today, Templar is getting a pretty massive buff. Is this the magical ret fix that has been needing all expansion? No, but it'll help a lot. See, Red's biggest problem is currently that it has no real kill pressure. Nothing you do can make it hit for more than 1.2 million in one global, and that's only if you have everything up, manage to fully stack Crusade without using Empyrean or Arbiter, and after that one global, you're back to just doing normal average damage, which is Ret's entire problem. However, if Templar is the go-to hero tree and does comparable damage to Herald, it'll put Red in a much better state, mainly because rather than only having one global of massive damage, you can time it out to be 2 and potentially 3 depending on your RNG. So first off, they buffed Shake the Heavens, increasing its duration by 2 seconds. This buffs your consistent damage and also allows you to stack Light's Deliverance much faster, and even more so because they reduce the stacks for Light's Deliverance down to 50 instead of 60. Now you'll probably end up with averaging 25-ish stacks every 30 seconds. This will potentially allow you to line up your big Hammer of Light go with your Final Reckoning go, allowing massive burst more consistently. Also, they're buffing the actual damage of Empyrean Hammer, making it stack with Penance and Burn to Ash. So that's a 10% base damage increase and a 30% increased damage on Wake goes, which is pretty big since this will make it hit for 200k on goes, pretty much increasing the damage of your Templar's verdict by 200k, making it actually a decent button. The only problem is that Empyrean Hammer is an insanely inconsistent ability. It doesn't focus your main target at all, and just targets nearby enemies, which means it could just be hitting pets or something you don't really care about. I hope that potentially in the future they fix this ability to prioritize your main target, at least if you're using single target abilities like Templar's Verdict. But now onto the actual burst buffs. So first off, using Hammer of Light increases the haste you get by 15% instead of 12%, and they buff the duration by 2 seconds. This is kind of decent, but also not amazing. So a lot of the time when using Radiant Glory, you aren't getting your Hammer of Light out to the tail end of your wings go, so without an extension, this might not be super helpful for the most part, but if you do get an extension, this will be insane. Then they just straight up buff the damage of Hammer of Light by 25%, along with a 75% buff to the AoE portion of the damage, and it is affected by Final Reckoning more efficiently. It says 30%, but in PvP, Final Reckoning is nerfed by 50%, so it'll be probably down to 15% damage buff, up from 7.5%, which is still pretty good. On our Final Reckoning goes, you'll be doing 32.5% more damage, and right now, Hammer of Light hits between 1 to 2 million, so buffing that by 30% could be pretty significant, since you're theoretically going to be able to get a 2.5 million Hammer of Light into a Templar Divine Storm Arbiter plus Empyrean Hammer proc for another 1 million, letting you potentially hit someone for 50% of their health in 2 globals. Then if you time it with Light's Deliverance, you could get another 2 million out of it, but at that point we're entering Fairyland where everything goes perfectly. But if you explicitly focus on trying to line up everything, you can potentially get some serious burst out. And with all the buffs to Empyrean Hammer, you shouldn't be losing on too much consistent damage compared to Herald. Now, will this completely fix Ret? Probably not, but this is a really good change in the right direction. This is one of the ideas that I've had for fixing Ret in the current expansion. However, I'm not super sure if it'll be enough. We'll have to see. If it isn't, I think the next change that they should do is reverting the nerf to Final Reckoning. This increases Ret's 1-minute burst go without making its consistent damage too overwhelming. That, along with the changes in the next patch, would leave Ret in a really good spot, but we'll have to see. For now, I'm definitely excited to try this out again. If you couldn't tell from my lack of videos, I've been super burnt out on Ret lately. It hasn't been very fun, but I think these changes could reinvigorate me, so I am looking forward to that. Expect tons of videos this next week, and that's it for me. Peace.